Welcome to the first episode of Games of Humanity. Today's topic is disinformation, and how you can spot and avoid it. But first I wish to outline the goal and purpose of this channel, and what it can do for you personally, as well as for our collective race. The purpose. This channel will develop videos that bring awareness to issues in today's world, and their individual context. The goal. Using crowdsourcing through the viewer, that's you, we will begin to brainstorm potential creative solutions to these concurrent issues, and perhaps even begin to design our own concepts of future technologies. The infrastructure. I will be constructing videos that fall into a 3-phase difficulty system, categorizing the issues on a level of interpretation difficulty. Phase 1. Easy. The topics discussed already exist, and the issues regarding them are very apparent. This will mainly feature creative solutions and future applications. Phase 2. Medium. These topics are in their infancy and will focus more on future-proofing their purposes and infrastructure, taking a proactive stance rather than reactive. Phase 3. Hard. The following topics are purely conceptual and will require research and critical thinking skills to design a future proposition for how this technology can be achieved while benefiting humanity. The benefits. As the viewer, you will be educated on the current issues of our world and how they affect you. Develop critical thinking and research skills that allow you to discuss these topics in a balanced and intellectual manner, while learning to harness the skill difference between logical thinking and creative boundary breaking. You will also gain the satisfaction that you are doing good in the world, even if that means watching a video, commenting a few times, and bringing up the topic in public discussions. Our short-term goals. Provided this channel begins to develop an engaging community, more infrastructure will be implemented to make our goal closer and our purpose stronger. It will begin with YouTube comments and interaction on social media channels. The next step will be to have a dedicated space to discuss our ideas and solutions, such as a subreddit. Our ideas and solutions can then be forwarded to recognizable scientific bodies for interpretation. Our ultimate goal. The final goal is to have a dedicated website that functions in 3 main sectors. The first sector will host and archive all the video projects we have created and discussed, complete with a dedicated comment and suggestion section for further development. The second sector will be an encyclopedia of all the current topics and issues related to them, allowing easy attainment of this knowledge. An analogy of this would be a research and development Wikipedia. The third sector will be a large forum that will allow discussions on the topics, issues, technologies, and improvements in general. This is to encourage a stronger and wholesome community with a common purpose. So now that that's out of the way, I would like to discuss disinformation with you. So what is disinformation? There are 3 different types. Disinformation. False information created with a harmful intent. Misinformation. False information which is an honest mistake, but still spreads. Malinformation. Real information brought into light to be malicious to another party. Disinformation's first major usage can be traced back to the Roman era, when during the final war of the Roman Republic, Octavian issued a smear campaign against Mark Antony and Cleopatra. This was used in the form of slandering quotes on distributed coins. Octavian then later won the ensuing conflict, after Antony was given the false information that Cleopatra had been killed and committed suicide, followed shortly by Cleopatra also committing suicide after learning about Antony's fate. I will now give you a short list of major events where misinformation or disinformation was prevalent. The Great Moon Hoax. After the invention and implementation of the printing press, a series of 6 articles that were published in The Sun, a New York newspaper, beginning on August 25, 1835, were about the supposed discovery of life and even civilization on the moon. The discoveries were falsely attributed to Sir John Herschel, one of the best known astronomers of that time. This is classed under misinformation. The World Wars. World War I was the first war in which mass media and propaganda played a significant role in keeping the people at home informed about what was occurring on the battlefields. This is also the first war in which the government systematically produced propaganda to target the public and alter their opinion. After the success of propaganda and disinformation during the First World War, the Axis and Allies utilised propaganda to make people aware of spies in the public, instigate hatred towards a race or creed of people caught in the war, and to rally members of the public into military ranks to defend their country from the enemy. This can be classified as disinformation. The Orson Welles War of the Worlds radio drama. The show began on Sunday, October 30th at 8 p.m. A voice announced,
"The Columbia Broadcasting System and its affiliated stations present Orson Welles and the Mercury Theatre on the air in The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells."
However, most listeners were not aware of the initial announcement, and as they listened to the narrative depicting the crashed alien craft and the ensuing invasion, listeners were made to believe this invasion was happening in real time. This can be classed under misinformation as well. The Onion articles. The Onion is a satirical digital media company that emphasises their news stories to conform to the standards of mainstream media, presenting mundane and everyday events as newsworthy, surreal or alarming, such as the article, "Rotation of the Earth throws entire North American continent into darkness," displaying it as a freak phenomena, but it's just a common day and night cycle of the Earth. Again, this is classed as disinformation, underlying the true issue with clickbait articles and media attention. The US election and Brexit. During the US election campaigns by the candidates, adverts and misinformation articles were circulated around the internet and social medias, primarily through Facebook. The same can be said for Brexit, where citizens voted on whether the UK would either leave or stay within the European Union. Disinformation campaigns like this were promoted to influence viewers on their opinion. Fake news. The term fake news is used extensively by US President Donald Trump in his tweets, and has been widely circulated since, but is now synonymously used with misinformation. In fact, Wikipedia has a page dedicated to fake news, and most of the previous examples that I've mentioned can be found on that page, rather than on the disinformation page, which has a Cold War origin. Current disinformation problems. A study done from Monmouth University in March 2018 showed that at least 50% of American citizens see fake news regularly. Over half of all news found on Facebook is fake, and that is a scary statistic. Another study done by Pew Research Center in April 2014 shows that 61% of millennials get their political news from Facebook, matched closely by 51% of Generation X, followed by 39% of baby boomers. This means that the highly connected individuals of today's world are in danger of seeing fake news that can dissuade them from their own values or push them to the extremes. How to verify what you see and read. The International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions, or the IFLA for short, published a summary of 8 points on how to recognise fake news. Let's break them down individually. Number 1. Consider the source, as they can have an ulterior motive or purpose. This is to purely sway you in your opinion. Number 2. Read beyond the headline, as the headline can just be clickbait to lure you in. Number 3. Check the authors to ensure they are real and credible. Number 4. Assess the supporting sources to ensure they support the claims sufficiently. Number 5. Check the date of publication to see if the article is up to date and relevant. Number 6. Ask yourself if it is supposed to be a joke, such as an Onion article or other forms of satire. Number 7. Review your own biases and see if the article is attacking or fully supporting your judgment. Number 8. Ask experts on the topic, as they are the ones studying the field and they will give you the facts to the best of their ability. Other techniques for verification. Safe sites. There are sites and articles created by non-profit organisations with the purpose to educate the reader rather than mislead you for clicks and ad revenue. 3 of my personal favourites are TED and TED Talks, Futurism, and the Global Economic Forum. I will leave links to them in the description. Background research. If a story or article has captured you, but you want to know if it's fake news. Do background research on the issue. Googling the issue and cross-referencing the material with other articles and data points can show you the real meaning. One good practice is to not always rely on the first page of Google, as this is where the paid for and most internet traffic will travel to. Dig a little deeper and you will find a smaller site that is giving you the full story, not a clickbait article. Scientific papers. This one is mostly for the specifically literate, as finding a scientific paper regarding an issue can be a challenge, but then once you open the desired paper, you find it's just a wall of text. However, this is where the true information lies, as this isn't curated to be reader friendly and generate clicks or ad money. This paper is designed to truly educate the reader on all possible aspects of the issue. If you want to know and not read a 30-page scientific paper, skim through the paper and read the first lines of each paragraph until you find a paragraph riveting that can give you more information. Potential solutions. Let us try and break down to see if there's a way to future-proof people and organisations into understanding the risks of fake news, educating them on spotting fake news, and sustaining a scientific body that can verify articles to be fake news free. What can we do to ensure that the members of the public truly understand what fake news is? And what can it do to your judgment? Are we able to create a central scientific body with the sole purpose of verifying articles for safe reading? There is a body currently working on this issue. They are known as First Draft News, coming from Harvard University. I encourage you to check out their site and see their goals to see how they would achieve this. What topics would be relevant? Would there be different sections going into detail regarding different subjects? Who would it be marketed to? Would it even be appropriate to market non-fake news to users of the internet and social media? Would it generate a profit? Should it be profitable or non-profit? And if it is profitable, where would the profit be invested? Will there be international friction issues? Can there be a global standard for what fake news is? So I will leave you with those questions, and hopefully you'll be able to conjure up more questions that I have missed, so more discussion points can be made. Feel free to leave your thoughts, opinions, questions, and ideas in the comment section. All that I ask is that you do it with respect, and not to swear or insult others, as this is a space for personal and overall growth. Thank you for listening to the Games of Humanity, and I will speak to you in the next episode.